For this one, we're going into a broad jump. So if you have space, we're gonna start nice and tall. For the sake of this demonstration, we're starting at face level. What we're working on here is snapping our arms down nice and quick to generate momentum for us to then go into a broad jump. So, in this demonstration, this is going to help you get higher on your for rebounds, to jump. Sorry?
Dunks.
Oh. This will help you get higher for rebounding, jumping, dunking. So again, we're going to do a couple more demonstrations. Make sure as we're shooting back, our hips are hinging backwards, and then as we extend through, we're really squeezing our glutes, snapping our hips through to give us more momentum to move forward. We'll do 2 more. Number 1, fluid movement. Good, good. Next one we're doing is lateral switches. On the basketball court, this will translate into a quicker first step or quicker change of direction. So you can use a piece of tape or put a line on the ground somehow in your house. We're gonna have weight always on that inside leg. This inside leg is gonna be slightly more forward than your outside leg. And then we're gonna go opposite arm to opposite leg. And all we're doing is always maintaining weight on that inside leg. So when you go to cut or move, change of direction, you're able to explode quicker into the direction that you want to. So I'll show you a couple more times. Pause in between each, reset if you need to. Again, we're not trying to go for height, we're trying to keep our head nice and level and just switch the weight in the leg. Dead bug. This one here builds up the strength in our core. We need to generate strength in our core in order to be able to move quickly, in order to jump, in order to be nice and powerful on the basketball court. So, there's a few variations of a dead bug. We'll start from forward and then slowly progress to a more difficult version. So back always needs to be pressed into the ground. So you're going to take your pelvis and scoop it up to your chin so your core is nice and engaged. And then we're just going to take legs only and tap the heel down to the ground one at a time. Good. We'll do a couple more there. Make sure this back does not creep off the ground. It always has to stay in contact. If we want to challenge ourselves a little more, same thing, but we're going to extend our legs straight, just hovering the ground and coming back. Bring your heel a little lower. So a little lower. Yeah, straighten it. Good. Again, maintaining our core and make sure our back is pressed into the ground. If we want to make it even more difficult, or challenge ourselves a little more, we're going to take opposite hand, opposite arm. We're going to take this hand, keep it pressed into that knee. So press that knee and hand together super tight so it helps engage the core. And then we're going to take this leg and extend it all the way through. So really push this into the hand. Good. And another side. Again, big thing there is just maintaining that back on the ground. Okay, pop. Last one we're going to do is a V-sit. So I'll show 2 different versions here. First one, start on the ground. Our arms are going to come up like this, and then we're bringing our knees and our arms up together at the same time, nice and controlled. If we want to make that more challenging, our legs are going to stay straight, and then arms are going to come up. Again, core stayed engaged the entire time. Okay. So for block number 2, it's another 4 exercises. First exercise we're going to start with is going to be the squat. So you can do it body weight, you can use a weighted bag. If you have weights at home, that's great. In this case, we're going to show it with a backpack, and you can just throw a couple textbooks in there to add some extra weight. So let's do your squat. So while doing a squat, let's make sure we start with our feet just to keep going. Feet are going to start just outside of shoulder distance apart. Toes are going to be slightly angled out, and then what we're focusing on here, tucking your chin. What we're focusing on here is keeping that chest up nice and tall. Hips are going to come back, and then knees are driving out over top of our feet. Chest up nice and tall, good. When we're doing it here, again, make sure our weight is staying in our heels and our midfoot. We're not putting weight at the toes. So, and then shooting our hips back a little bit further. Good. Okay. Next exercise is going to be a push-up. So we'll show 3 variations. If a push-up is something we find a little bit more difficult, or if we're just beginning with starting push-ups, then we're going to start with an incline push-up. So hands are going to be just stacked underneath our shoulders, so starting like a nice tall plank position. Pelvis is going to be scooped up good, so your core is engaged, chin tucked in. And then as we lower down, our elbows are going to be anywhere from close to the body to 45 degrees away. So I don't want you shrugged up like this. Make sure shoulders are down, and we're good. Push into me. Good. Chin. Good. So we're maintaining a nice strong line. Good. Core is engaged. Good. Okay. Next one. Another variation of a push-up is just the regular one on the ground. So again, start in that tall plank, wrists stacked underneath of your shoulders, core super engaged, and then lower chest to the ground. Good. Again, maintaining that nice straight line. Just do one more. Perfect. And then if you feel like challenging yourself, we can do a decline push-up. So if you don't have a box at home for the incline or the decline, you can use a set of stairs, a couch, if it's not too high up off of the ground. Okay, again, straight line. And then this puts a little bit more weight in the upper body rather than lower within the core. So it stresses the upper body a little bit more. Okay, good. This one is going to be an isometric wall sit on one leg rather than two. For the sake of this video, we're just using a pole, but at home use a blank wall. So we're going to come down into a regular wall sit, maintain a 90-degree angle within the hips and the knees, so it'll slightly lower. Good. And then once we're in that comfortable position, we're going to hold 10 seconds on each side. So we're going to keep the hips nice and square, try not to rotate the body too much, and we're just going to lift up one leg off of the ground. Hold for 10 seconds, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, and then after 10 seconds is up, we're switching legs. Good. Again, making sure we're at those 90-degree angles. Good. So our next exercise is a body saw. So we're going to start in a low plank position. So elbows are stacked underneath of our shoulders. Our body's nice and flat, core is scooped under and engaged. And then all we're doing here is taking our upper body, pushing us away from our fists, and then pulling ourselves back in. Make sure we maintain this core. Good.
So